Directors and Coaches Association.
This is Steve Moulton from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and this is What's Happening. Be sure and download our app. Just search 977 ESPN in your Google Marketplace or your Apple Store, depending on your device, so you can take us wherever you might go. And you can also check out our latest zone deals. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. The top left banner reads, "Savings never tasted so good." Click on that, then enter in the big zone deals store for half-off zone deals of Lawler's Barbecue, Cecil, Carrabba's Italian Grill, Bubby's Diner, Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Divergence, Full Moon Barbecue, Bigfoot Little Donuts, Hickory Store Barbecue, Good Company Cafe, Apple Lane Farms, the Decatur location, and rounds of golf at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course and Gunter's Landing. And that's what's happening.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. A massive Western Conference showdown on the way in the NBA tonight when the Lakers host the Warriors. Los Angeles is third in the West. Golden State, which is 19-5 since the Jimmy Butler trade, just 2 games back. Steph Curry coming off an incredible performance Tuesday night when he scored 52 points, including 12 threes. Lakers have won all 3 games against the Warriors this season. Heat tonight seeking a 7th straight win when it hosts the Grizzlies, 7 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Miami is 9th in the East. Memphis is 8th in the West. Rockets forward Dylan Brooks facing an automatic 1-game suspension after picking up his 16th technical foul of the season last night. If it's not rescinded, Brooks would be suspended tomorrow against MVP favorite Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the league-leading Thunder, which has won 11 straight. Houston is 2nd in the West.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
You know, this process is all about talking ball.
Listen to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond.
What did they want privacy for? To just start talking ball.
Every weekday morning, wake up with Scott and Drew. It's Talkin' Ball. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Joe Hunk. John Abraham. 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to a thrilling Thursday here on the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of sports talk and goofs and gaffs here with us on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN. Joe, we got ourselves a busy day. And it's not just a day of busyness. We got ourselves a busy
day of goofs and gaffs.
We got a busy weekend as well because I don't know if you knew this, Joe, but Trash Pandas baseball begins tomorrow.
It does. But over at Toyota Field, they're going to be taking on the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Oh, yeah, they will be. And it's going to be a lot of fun getting into a little bit of Trash Pandas baseball. If you want to keep up with all of the baseball from Toyota Field, you can download our Talk Radio WZZN app and make sure you don't miss out on any of the first pitches or the walk-off home runs, which we saw. We saw on the West Coast yesterday.
Shut it. Get through your opening spiel first.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Regardless, you guys can watch the show not just on WZZN TV, but also on our Facebook page, and as well as that to our Twitter page, aka X, at 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Look it up. Hop on in, chat with us. But if you're not one that's quick on the keyboard, then hop over to your phone. 256-576-97.7 is the number to hop on with us. Whether you want to talk hockey, you want to talk baseball, you want to talk a little bit of off-season football, or maybe even in-season football, with the UFL because,
Yeah,
Joe,
no.
we did talk a little bit to James Larson yesterday from the Pro Football Newsroom. And although there's not really a place for it, it is going on. And we do want to remind you that there is more sports to watch than ever this spring season. So definitely exciting for that.
You're trying to sell this.
Yeah,
You're trying.
I
really,
am
really
every single
hard.
year, Joe. I've been doing this for 3 years now. All right. And every single year, the XFL, the USFL, the AAFL, or the whatever, the
Exactly.
UFL.
We've already went through enough where you can't even remember half their names.
It gets to the point where I got to try and push it to the people because football's football, Joe, and it's the greatest sport on earth, in my opinion.
I understand that it is the greatest sport, but I also understand this is where it comes over quality over quantity. Because I love baseball. Obviously, we know I love baseball.
And you're watching Japanese baseball,
and I'm watching
too.
Japanese baseball this morning, which really absolutely just pissed me off to start the day.
Well, just added on to the pissed offness you were yesterday, last night at least.
Well, no, Teriyaki Sato hits a game-tying home run. I'm pumped. That's my boy. Now, if I can have a boy that is somebody that I've literally just now learned about, he hits a game-tying one. And if you think the umpires in Major League Baseball are bad, John, did I show you the video?
You showed me the video. I thought it was actually from the Dodgers game last night.
No, you know why? Because they didn't miss their swings.
Yeah.
Player for the Bay Stars misses a swing. I mean, misses the ball probably by a good 3 or 4 inches. And the catcher drops the ball, and the home plate umpire called it a foul instead of strike 3, which would have made it second out in the top of the 9th inning with the game tied at 2. And the very next pitch, man, hits one right over center field for 2 runs and to give the Bay Stars the lead. And they end up winning 5-2. Bunch of garbage.
Unfortunate, Joe.
It was. And then, not to mention, I was already fired up. Not because, my roof's messed up, because it's not, and yours can't be. It can be saved as well if you need a little bit of help. Fleming Roofing and Restoration, they help you show up.
Yeah, they're the guys that you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs, actually, Joe. And I don't know if that was a good segue or if you just wanted to get this through.
Because you know why? Because if Shohei Ohtani did what he did last night to my roof, I would need Fleming and Roofing and Restoration.
That is true.
First pitch swinging, high drive, left center field, at the wall. Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani,
A sayonara swing.
home, and once again, the Dodgers walk off winners.
That wasn't even the best call of it.
They can't keep getting away with this, Joe.
No, he does a sayonara swing. Joe Davis turns him into Thanos. No, I am not kidding. If you found the call from Joe Davis last night when the home run happens, he seriously says, Shohei Ohtani, he is inevitable. And I'm like, well, he's not, honestly not wrong.
Didn't we say that
He's-
yesterday
he's-
or 2 days ago, maybe?
He probably we may have. Maybe Joe Davis is listening. I'm like, are you kidding me? Look, the thing about it that was so annoying, here's where it is. It's one thing to hit a walk-off opposite field home run, because that's honestly amazing. You don't realize how difficult it is to hit an opposite field. Just to hit a ball oppo is hard. To hit an opposite field home run is even harder. To hit a 2-seam fastball that is high and outside, it would have been a ball if he had not swung at it, and he hit it 400 feet. Yes, he is Thanos.
On his bobblehead night. I don't know if this guy is the best player in the MLB right now, but he is one of the most clutch players. When he came up to play, I was thinking, it's going to be fine. But, he's probably might hit the ball, might get on base, might, do something. But hit a home run to absolutely, take down the entire building, the entire stadium, the entire MLB, the entire Braves confidence right there.
Listen.
That was whenever I was just like, you got to be kidding.
Yeah, listen.
You got to be kidding.
Fly ball to center field. Harris is back. Oh,
Yeah, I'm not going to play the rest.
Yeah,
But
Joe,
no,
please don't, because I'm getting to the point where I've heard 2 calls now. Oh, actually 3, because Scott was playing it before talking ball as well. And now I'm to the point where I'm just like, dude, I need some good news from the Braves. Like, I need something good.
Okay, I am still not like off the bandwagon of thinking this game is over with. Like I'm not. Like Brave season's over.
Joe,
like
no team has ever made it to the playoffs though with this 0-7 start.
I understand, and I know that they are basically really behind the 8 ball right now.
Just a little bit.
Now there's a few pieces to this that, from a mental standpoint, the All-Star break is going to be amazing for this team, because from a mental standpoint, they are going to be mentally drained and already from trying to fight back from starting the season 0-7. Absolutely. And I know, yes, they have the Marlins this weekend. Marlins right now are 4-3. Great. But it's still 7 games in the season, and you've already knocked out what has historically been the worst part of your season, and that is the West Coast road trip to play the Padres and Dodgers. You've already knocked that out. So now you have 165. No, that'd be mean they're in the World Series, or they'd be in the playoffs. You have 155 games remaining. Out of 7 of those you've already lost. You have 155. You've already knocked out the worst part of your schedule as far as that trip, because that road trip is always awful. And you've already knocked it out. Now you don't have to worry about it rolling in somewhere else and in the middle of June having to go do that, or having to do it in August or September when you're in the middle of a pennant race. Now it is done with. The furthest west that the Braves now have to go, unless I've missed where they have to, they'll probably have to play in Seattle, or they're going to have to play in Sacramento at some point in time. But you are not going to have to go to LA to play the Dodgers or back to San Diego to play the Padres unless it is the postseason. That's it.
It's true.
It's done. It is done. You still don't have Strider. You still don't have Acuna. You're fine. You are fine. It's crazy to sit there and think about, are you serious? You're really thinking and saying that this team is fine right now as this is going on? You are fine.
Yeah, I think that the farthest the Braves will have to go the next time is going to be San Fran.
They have to go to Sacramento in July to play the A's.
The San Fran game is going to be in June, so that'll be June 6th. So that's going to be the farthest. That's going to be their California matchup, and then of course to Sacramento to play the A's. But I don't think we have to worry about any of that.
No, and I'm actually looking right now, and I don't even think they have to travel to Seattle now, because I know they play Seattle, but in September, but that is at home. And I'm double checking because I don't even think they have to. They don't even have to go to Seattle this year, which I thought you did home and homes with everybody now. So that's kind of surprising.
Well, that's good regardless, because Seattle's gloomy. So,
well, no, it is gloomy, but at the same time, it's also not LA and the Dodgers. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Totally fine. You're done with this portion of the schedule. You now do not have to worry about it at all. Mm-hmm. So that means outside of going to Sacramento and playing a spring training game against the A's, because that's really what it looks like when you play Tampa and Sacramento now. It is so weird. Moulton and I, during Tom's show, he was sitting in here with me, and the Rays were playing yesterday.
I haven't seen the Rays play where they're playing.
It genuinely just looks like they're playing a spring training game.
And it's the same thing though for the A's. I mean,
it is.
They're playing in these. They're
playing in minor league ballparks.
These coliseums.
Yeah.
These little coliseums, little baby coliseums.
Dude, they're not coliseums at all. They're barely double-decker stadiums.
And it's just I know that it's a part of their organization. They can't really do anything about it, but
yeah, they could.
Oh, I mean, where else would they be playing?
They could actually spend money.
Regardless, Joe, they have no home field advantage. There's no such thing as home field advantage for the A's.
At least in Tampa, they're in Tampa. They're actually closer to the city now than what they were with St. Pete.
It doesn't matter if you fill out that stadium regardless, Joe. It's not going to be the same as whenever you see the Braves on a Friday afternoon.
Well, and the A's fans, Sacramento is only about at the most an hour and a half away, which is what I call driving to work now on 431, an hour and a half.
That place only fits 16,000, Joe.
Yeah. And sidebar on this, screw you people that are building a highway that is connecting it in Meridianville. It pisses me off.
Yeah. What are we doing?
It should not take me 45 minutes to an hour to get to work from Hazel Green. This is me driving to Nashville. It didn't even take me this long sometimes. Yeah. It is awful.
It's called growth, Joe.
No, you know what it's called?
Construction equals growth.
You know what? Guess what happens? There's a thing called nighttime. And it is 70-something degrees now. You can do this crap at night. You do not have to do this in the middle of the morning in the worst intersection in Meridianville that you decide that you just want to absolutely block off a lane at the same time and cause traffic that's already awful at that point in time and in that place and make it even worse.
It's so bad that even Windows 10 is telling me that there is construction down there. So
yeah. Oh, there is.
Yeah. Take notice.
And pardon our
Microsoft.
progress. No, you know what? Do it at night when there's nobody driving on the highway and you can just block off any lane that you want to block off. Not at 7 a.m. when everybody's trying to go to work and it is literally backed up from Bob Wade Lane all the way to my house because of traffic, because of the way that they're doing this.
Gee,
screw them.
We're really coming out like hot. Like
Yeah,
literally,
no, you
we're
want to know why?
steaming right
Because
now.
there's more traffic right now going past Bob Wade Lane to try to get to Huntsville than there is trying to get to Sacramento A's games.
Oh, jeez.
There absolutely is. They don't have to deal with traffic. They don't have to deal with, slow down, everybody. We don't have enough parking spots. You're going to have to go park somewhere else. They don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Well, this is the biggest city in all of Alabama. So let's just let's just appreciate where we're at. All right. Because this city is growing and we're going to have to respect its growth. The same way we got to respect the Braves' growth throughout the year, because
They're
again,
gonna have to grow.
it wasn't just that they didn't score enough at the beginning. It wasn't just that Shohei Ohtani is inevitable and he's going to hit a home run.
Thanos.
If the Braves were, and I know the Dodgers gave them so many different chances, the amount of errors that I saw, oh my goodness. But you also send De La Cruz home and he gets out. And there's so many different times in this game where the Braves could have added on to the lead, but they just weren't able to.
No, and this is where the mistakes that the Braves are making are going to cost them early on in the season. But again, they still have 155 more games. Now, are they going to start? Is there going to be a little bit more pressure? Absolutely. Is there going to be a time where tomorrow night when they're playing the Marlins inside of Truist, if they make an error that the boos may be a little bit louder?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If they have a pitcher that gives up a bomb, even if, it's a close game, is he going to get booed? Probably. This team right now is having to flip a switch on that you're really not wanting to flip that switch on for about another 4 months. Because now, yes, they have a losing record. They are 0-7, but now they've just got to win one game. And once they win one game, they're going to be, okay, we can do this. We're good. You look at there's a stretch of like in May. Matter of fact, it ends with the game that I think Brandon is wanting all of us to go to on May 15th.
Can't wait.
Where they're playing the Cincinnati Reds, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Washington Nationals. If there is no Paul Skeens, not saying they can't beat Paul Skeens, but if there's no Paul Skeens, there's a reality right there of 11 straight wins. Yeah. There really is. And that is facing a Hunter Green that pitched last night against the Rangers. And he was going up against, who was it? It's a former Vandy pitcher. I forget which one it was. It wasn't Rocker, but he was going up against that. And this pitcher for the Rangers topped out. His fastest pitch was 99.1. It was the 53rd fastest pitch in that game. And it was 99.1.
That's wild.
That's how much Hunter Green and how many times Hunter Green throws over 100 miles per hour when he pitches. Really should be a closer. So you have this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time.
Well, I was upset last night as well because of a guy, one dude, Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks, as he actually made some history yesterday against the Yankees. 13 strikeouts, Joe. You know, the Yankees are a wonderful team. They'll hit home runs anytime they can get a bat on a ball. They were not able to do that last night until, well, he was gone, and they had to move on to their finishers. The Yankees need to be able to find contact, and if they can't hit those home runs, yes, Joe, it is wild.
No, I was actually looking at something else because
gotcha.
No, I'm sorry. The only reason I say it is because former Tennessee quarterback Joe Milton has just been traded.
Oh, hold on that.
He just got traded.
We're going to hold on to the phone lines as well because we got Crawdad waiting for us. When we come back, we'll get into the phone lines. We'll get into where Joe Milton is headed. Again, he looked really good for the Patriots during the preseason. No lie.
Really, really did.
And on top of that, we'll get into a little bit more of the baseball talk and even more. So stick with us, and we will also be reading some of these comments because Chris had something to say from a Red Sox point of view that is definitely going to be interesting. So stick with us here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
Countdown to the 2025 Trash Panda season is on. Tickets are available for the full 2025 home schedule, including opening night on Friday, April 4th. But it doesn't end there. The Trash Panda season opens with 9 home games in 10 days, featuring theme nights, giveaways, fireworks, and more. This opening homestand has it all. For more information, check us out online at trashpandasbaseball.com.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a back compressor, a leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490. AL certain number 21014.
Now is the time to sign up for the Eagle Installation WZZN Charity Golf Tournament to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year's event is the morning of April 21st at Cherokee Ridge, and each member of the winning team not only gets the championship belts, but a full year membership to Cherokee Ridge. Breakfast and lunch are provided, plus tremendous prizes and a chance to win $100,000. Cost is $800 a team or $200 per individual, and corporate sponsorships are available. Send an email to 977WZZNevents@gmail.com to reserve your spot today.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
You guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Owen. Upper 60s expected for this Thursday night. We'll continue to sit under a partly cloudy sky, but heading into our Friday, we'll continue to see mostly clouds in the forecast. There's a small opportunity for a little bit of rain heading into the afternoon. High temperatures once again stay warm and above average, reaching the mid-80s. I'm Fox 54 meteorologist Emily Owen on your home for ESPN Radio 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Never miss a second of Huntsville Havoc hockey.
McCabe with the tip in as the Ice Bears are now in the double digits in consecutive losses.
The Havoc Zone, only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
You know, Joe, you make sense. All right, you do make sense. Getting the Padres, getting the Dodgers out of the way.
Telling you, man.
It's similar to those videos I've been seeing all over social media with like the people with the line of bottles, and they go to the end. And there's another person that chooses the other direction to go, like the easiest bottles first. And it's always the person who goes to the end to grab the bottles that wins the race. So maybe that's what we're looking at. Maybe we might see the first 0-7 team to start the season make it to the playoffs.
And this is the Braves' worst start since was their last season at Turner Field.
2016.
Tremendous way to end that god-awful stadium.
They went 0-9 that season too, so there's still a few more games to go.
I asked you the question yesterday. Now I'm like, which one's going to happen? Is the Final Four going to tip off, or are the Braves going to get a win? Which one happens? Well, we've only got one game left because I'm pretty sure the game against the Marlins isn't going to be until about Saturday night at about 7:00.
Yeah.
So we're already going to be one game into the Final Four, at least part of it.
And to be honest, seeing the Braves yesterday, the way they started that game, it was actually pretty promising. So maybe we might see the Braves win their game, the first game before the Final Four.
Don't laugh.
Set up. Yeah,
I heard that. We all heard that.
That's Steve. He's a huge Braves fan, Mike.
He used to work for the Braves. See, you can hear the laughter. Look, here's if you want to look at positives from it, here's the positive. Who got injured in this series for the Braves?
Who was it?
No, nobody.
Nobody.
That's the key. Like, you didn't lose another player. You know, you didn't lose Austin Riley. You didn't lose Ozzie Albies. Matt Olson is still fine. Everybody is still good. Like, that's the positive from this. Would you much rather sweep these 6 in 7 games and lose Matt Olson for the season, and then be like, well, we started 6-0, but we just lost our all-star first baseman. Okay, well, that's great. No, you're healthy. Everybody's good. You didn't nobody's walking off the mound and now got put on it. I mean, Ronaldo Lopez never actually technically got on the mound. So, okay. So you're fine.
Yeah. The Braves' health might be good right now, and I hope that it continues that way. But for your roof, it might not be the same case. And they are, of course, the presenting sponsors of this show, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember, they show up, unlike the Braves actually winning a game.
No, and you can always listen on the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app. And if you are somebody right now that is in the Arlington, Texas area around AT&T Stadium, if you're listening, you may want to go ahead and contact Fleming Roofing and Restoration, because Joe Milton only knows how to throw bombs.
No way.
He has just been traded to the Dallas Cowboys.
The Cowboys actually did something,
The
Joe?
Dallas Cowboys have just traded for Joe Milton. And he is going to be the backup for Dak Prescott. So that means he should be starting by week 3.
Yeah.
And last year, he actually did fantastic in the preseason. Got in, played week 18 for New England. And that was the reason why the Patriots did not have the number 1 overall pick and do not have it, is because of how he played.
Awful.
He was 22 of 29, 241 yards passing, and he had a TD in that last game of the regular season that New England won to knock them out of the first overall draft pick.
That's a big body right there. Let's head to the phone lines. We got Crawdaddy on with us. Crawdad, how you doing, man?
Hey, guys. Enjoying the show today. Last time the Braves started 0-4, they won the World Series, by the way. I know they're 0-7 now. And one thing, Joe, just a point on your traffic frustration. I think something that people didn't factor into the decision as to when they're doing this work is the fact that Uncle Elon made everybody go back to work. So all the traffic is heading back into the arch. You ought to
oh, no. I noticed the day that went official and everybody that was working from home had to start going back to work, which was so funny to me because, again, I've been working in the building for like years. Like, I don't think I ever actually stopped outside of, when I was in Montgomery for, actual COVID when we all got sent home. Like, outside that, I've been working in a building the whole time. So hearing all that, I was going, okay, this is kind of funny. Yeah. But I did notice the traffic that started to add up there. And it was already a Bob Wade Lane coming in from Tennessee, because we have a ton of people from Fayetteville that work in Huntsville. the traffic always gets hectic and very busy right there at Bob Wade. Like there's always a traffic jam. Now you're adding construction and putting it on down to one lane.
And making everybody go to work. Yeah, take a drive out on the Arsenal. The parking lots are full. So
I bet.
Hey, leave a little early and grit your teeth.
Oh, trust me, and I appreciate that, Crawdad. And I see that's the other part. It's not like I can leave earlier because I still have to drop my son off at school. I can't drop him off at 6:30.
Yeah.
Like he's
killing for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, like he gonna be turning the lights on for the janitor.
Unless he's got a Game Boy Advanced SP, man, he's not gonna be able to do anything. He'll be bored. Get him a Game Boy first before you give him a Switch.
I got him one. I just happened to get it from China, and the little charging device in the bottom. Well, what? You know the reason why we have all these cool things is because I always go direct to manufacturer, man. I never buy it through like a second or third party.
I understand that, brother. I do. I truly do. Save the money.
It had like 200 games on it. He was playing Mario. He was playing OG Ninja Turtles, which is why I remember that stupid little water level.
That's great. That's great. But you have to think about the gifts that you're going to follow up with. If you give him everything, well, I mean, even though, you're not giving him a Switch, you give him a Game Boy that has every single game on it. That's giving him everything.
It was honestly, it was probably one of the best gifts I ever gave him just because
I don't doubt it.
He did nothing but want to play it, and it actually allowed me to play my own PlayStation.
And that's awesome. But you also need to set him up to where you can also give him more. You can get him little Game Boy games. That stuff is a part of the excitement about having one.
He genuinely may need it because if traffic keeps being this bad right now from Hazel Green to Huntsville, I'm going to have to leave at like 6 o'clock just to get here at a normal time. Because today I started going through like subdivisions and everything like that. It took me an hour to get here. It took my wife longer, and she left only 2 minutes after me, and it took her longer to get to work. And she only works like a half a mile from here.
Well, before we get into some of the college football talk, because that is on the bulletin board, I do want to look at WZZ in chat. There were some storms that happened last night. Of course, prayers out to everybody affected. There's going to be more storms coming in to the weekend, so make sure you keep up with Grace and Nello from Way TV for all of your news on that. But Chris actually threw in, and this gives you a perspective, Joe, because you are a Boston Red Sox fan.
Yeah, this is,
but he throws in, this is awesome seeing the Braves like this. Coming from a Red Sox fan, this is proof one player, Acuna, can't do it all. Joe, where's he coming from with this, man?
Well, it says he follows it up by saying Acuna is the one. If he plays well, the team plays well. With him being on the IL, they need to find a way to play Braves baseball. They have the pitching, they have the hitters. It just needs a spark. And that genuinely is something that Acuna and Strider does for this team. Is there's a personality, there's a belief, there is that, if it's very similar to the Dodgers. Like when I was talking to Moulton earlier, he says he was watching the game, and Brandon Gaulden, who does the play-by-play for the Braves, says 9-1-2 coming up in the ninth. And first thing Moulton says was, I didn't care one thing about 9. I didn't care one thing about 2. It was only 1 because that's what Shohei Ohtani was batting.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with Shohei and the Dodgers. They are filled with these all-stars. Like they are filled with them.
Well, Mookie Betts is also that too. So
there is.
That's pretty good too.
But there's a difference between Mookie coming up to bat and Shohei coming up to bat. Mookie can hit and Mookie can do what he does. But Shohei is just a different beast.
Inevitable.
And that's the same. No, he absolutely is Thanos. And so Acuna is kind of that same way. This team and this talent needs something that they can actually believe in. Okay. And Acuna is that guy because he does bring the energy. He does bring the excitement. He does bring that ability that if you have somebody that's batting 8th in the lineup, and then if it's 8-9-1, the pitcher is focused more on throwing strikes to 8-9-1 because they don't want Acuna to come up with a man or 2 on, because even if it's not a home run and it's a double, he's going to be able to score 2 or 3. So those are why the things that you look for in a team and a player. He is the spark. He absolutely is the spark. That's why I'm still not worrying about this because he's supposed to be back in the next month or so, and it's going to give that spark to this team. Now, from here on out, they honestly just need to play 500 baseball.
Yeah, and I think this is good for them too, because it also gives the Braves an identity outside of just Acuna and also Strider. I mean, it gives them an opportunity to see who that next playmaker might be for the team. Of course, Ozuna's there, but at the same time, he's getting up there in age. He's also just one player, and I don't think he brings that same type of energy or mentality that we see from Acuna.
No, and I think that it's also a locker room thing. It is also, it is a mentality of, here's our lineup. These are our guys. Like I go back and I look at the Havoc, and Chris said some things about the Havoc on there and talking about how good of a job we do, and we appreciate
just
that.
Pump yourself up, Joe.
Did I say Joe or did I say we? Did I say Joe or did I say we? Did I say I? Did I say we?
Okay.
I said what?
You
said
we.
we.
Yes,
Thank you. See? So he says, he talks about that, and that's very similar to now having Willie back, is that this team doesn't have that anxiety when they're putting another goalie in net other than Robo. Mm-hmm. Because with Robo, they have that belief of, look, this man's only going to allow one goal, maybe two. We're set. But then you started adding the other goalies, which there were 6 goalies that the Havoc went through between the time Willie went up to the ECHL and by the time he came back. But now you saw that on Friday night or Thursday night when he got put in after Robo. You saw it on Saturday and you saw it on Sunday. The team just has this belief. They have a comfort. They can play freer. Mm-hmm. It's the same way with Acuna. They can play freer because they understand that all they got to do is get on base, and they've got the beast behind them and going. Yeah. Right now, if Ohtani is Thanos, Acuna is probably Thor. Like, that is, if we're talking Dodgers Braves and we think this is what the NLCS is going to be in October, then that's what you are. It is Thanos, it is Thor, because Acuna brings the electricity.
Well, similar to Acuna, there's another man that's trying to make some headlines, and he always does, and also he brings that energy, and it is Deion Sanders. And Joe, you brought this up before the show. We talked a little bit about it. We think it's going to be a great idea, but, well, the NCAA decided to put the mallet down because, if it's something that's wrong, they don't worry about it. But if it's something that seems right, that's whenever they have to get involved.
Oh, and I think part of this to me is extremely frustrating with the fact that there's no point in something what's happened. So what happens is Colorado and Syracuse wanted to do a joint scrimmage for a spring game.
This is great.
So they did what they went through the proper protocols and all of that. Like, this is what they were wanting to do. And the NCAA said, no, can't do it. We're going to go ahead and say, this is a no. You're not allowed to do this joint spring practice.
Look, Joe.
Or spring game.
They're already having to, they're not having to, but teams are already getting rid of their spring game against themselves, okay? This would be more like the NFL, which is kind of where college football is going. And I think that this would be a great thing to show for not just, the fans, but also the players. They wouldn't just have to play against themselves. They wouldn't have to scrimmage themselves and see the same stuff that they saw during practice. They would see something different. I think this would prepare them way better than anything we've seen in the past during spring football.
I'm telling you, I know that obviously the joint practices in the NFL coincide with the preseason game that's going to take place.
Exactly,
What happens is the team will get into town 4 and 5 days earlier. They'll have joint practice for 2 or 3 days. Then they'll have an individual practice by themselves before playing a preseason game.
A few fights in between.
There are a few fights in between. And look, there's a reason for that, is because it's not just a practice for a lot of these guys. This is their first opportunity to really kind of showcase what they can do up against other NFL talent outside of their own team. And you're dealing with a bunch of guys, because this isn't just 53 guys. It just isn't 80 guys when you count practice squads and all this stuff. You're talking about over 100 players trying to make an NFL roster. To say the tension is high is an understatement, because the tension is over the top with how it is. And yes, you do have a lot of fights. You also have better practices, and you learn more about your team from a joint practice than what you do with your normal practice going up against it. The practices themselves, this is just like the Senior Bowl. The practices themselves mean more than what the actual game does in the preseason, because you do get a lot of work and a lot of one-on-one action and a lot of stuff on film that you can take into and research and analyze for the next day. I just don't understand why the NCAA continues to want to live in 1960.
I agree.
Like, I don't understand why they want to live in the old days and they want to say, no, we need to keep things the same. The one thing that I have always been taught, no matter if it is here or if it was in Nashville or Birmingham or Montgomery, wherever it's been that I've done radio in, the one thing that I've always learned is the word, this is how we've always done it, in that phrase is horrible to say.
And it's also out the window in most sports too. Tradition is one thing that we love. Okay. We love nostalgia. We love seeing how the sport grew in the first place. But at the same time, these advancements, like the torpedo bat, like the rule changes in the NFL, are going to make the game that much better. And also for the players as well as for the fans.
Well, and the part about this is, as well as there are money-making opportunities to this. Let's be honest about this. If you're looking at this from a money-making opportunity, especially with what Oklahoma State was wanting to do, which they wanted to hold a joint spring game with Oklahoma. Like, that would have been massive.
What would that one be called? Like, instead of the Red River rivalry,
they would call that Bedlam spring game. Like, it would be something like that to go with what Bedlam used to be.
Gotcha.
Like, they would go with, like, it would be massive that way. Colorado and playing, I think that Colorado and Colorado State probably should be a spring game, even though I know that it sells out in Denver every single year that they play it.
It's a great game.
Like, those types, it's not a great game, but it's a game that's traditional.
Hey, Joe, it's great. It was a great game 2 years ago. I'm going off of that one. It was a great game.
Okay. So the idea of growing the sport, this is where the NCAA, it blows me away that they even want to consider this. Now, Mike Gundy is the one that came out with the statements yesterday about it, because they asked him, because he had been vocal about, hey, this is actually a pretty cool thing that we would like to do here as well. And here's what Mike Gundy had to say as the reporter was asking the question.
I mean, I think we should. I mentioned it the other day. I just thought of the deal with OU. I think it's a good deal. I would like to do it. I'd like to practice against them. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to waste my time on who's going to determine what the rules are anymore, because essentially there's not really enough of them to follow. And I'm not even sure how they have grounds to say you can't do it. Somebody just goes and does it. What are they going to do to them?
What you going to do?
No, I genuinely am curious. What are they going to do?
You're going to suspend their players?
Are they going to say that, are they going to try to give them a postseason ban for doing this?
That's what I was actually.
Well, no. And look, here's the deal. Okay, because this is where it's an absolute joke on this, is because the NCAA came out, I want to say it was either this year or last year, and actually said, hey, basketball, you guys can now hold an exhibition game somewhere for, like they did here in Huntsville.
Alabama, Memphis.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, it's like, it used to be something that had to be for charity or something along those lines. That was the way to get around it. Why then are you allowing basketball to hold an exhibition game, but you won't let football do the exact same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Then say it like that. This is going to be an exhibition game between Syracuse and Colorado, and it is going to go to St. Jude's. Cool. Do that. Are you really, the NCAA, going to then come down with a hammer and get these teams in trouble for now raising money for a children's hospital? Come on. They're not going to do that.
No mallet.
No, they absolutely are not going to be able to do that. They don't even have the handle to the mallet to try to do. The NCAA is an absolute joke at this point in time. I mean, they are literally a dying breed. And I promise you, this morning, as we are having this conversation right now, there are how many billion people in America at this point in time? 6 billion, something like that.
In America, Joe?
No.
Billion. You're saying billion.
I think there's people are there in America?
253 million people.
How many?
No billion,
people
Joe.
In America. I may be way off.
You're so off.
340 million. Okay. It's not a billion. Not a billion.
Do you know how many people?
Okay, maybe the world. Okay. How many people are there in the world right now?
Probably right at 8 billion.
Okay, see, so that's more accurate.
There you go.
There's 8 billion. How did you know that? There's 8 billion people in this world. Okay. At this point in time, somewhere in the world of 8 billion people, I guarantee you there are 2 people that have a lot of stroke that are having this conversation about, you realize all we've got to do is make one phone call and this is done, right?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Like this is, I promise you, that conversation is being had because this is standing in the way of making money.
And growth.
You cannot tell me that if Alabama, who will not play UAB on a football field, were to set up a spring game with UAB, and again, the money goes for charity, like St. Jude's, like the Children's Hospital in Birmingham that overlooks Regions Field where the Birmingham Barons play. If money goes towards that and admission is all based on every bit of the money from the tickets that you buy to go into the stadium goes towards that hospital, you're telling me that the NCAA is going to go to Alabama and say, yeah, you guys have a postseason ban of 2 years. Not going to happen.
Speaking of money, it seems like the coaches have a better idea of what to do with it and how to actually utilize it. And this is actually what Fran Brown had to say.
Like where I'm from Camden, New Jersey, it was extremely tough growing up. So every NIL dollar would have not just been for me, it would have been able to help my mom at home. Like we would have been able to not have to move all the time. Like there was rent that needed to be paid that didn't get paid all the time. There was different things, electric bill, right? Living in the dark and food on the table for my younger siblings to be able to have that consistency. Sometimes you need that, right? And I think that those are all the reasons, and all those reasons are still there. But now we have a partnership and we send people in to help and teach us. And then we also have it set where our players, they have to save 40% of their checks. So they understand and know I have to put 40% of my check away. So that way I can be better later because I'm your coach. There's no way I'm going to pay you a lot of money. You're a good player. And then you're going to walk away from here with no money.
256-576.
97.7,
the number to get in. When we come back, hopping back into the phone lines, getting your guys' reaction on that and more here on the Blitz and on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, ESPN Winchester, and WZZN TV.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. AI-powered betting models to help you make sharper picks during March Madness. Free 7-day trial available now at rhythm.com. That's RITHMM.com.
Men's Final Four Saturday night, just after 6 Eastern. Auburn, a 2.5-point underdog against the Florida Gators. The Tigers at plus 130. The over-under is 159.5. The Tigers arrived in San Antonio on Wednesday to start preparing. Off day for the Braves today. They start the season 0-7 after a 6-5 loss last night on the road at Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Atlanta still among betting favorites to win the World Series, though, at plus 1,000, holding steady at plus 550 to win the National League pennant. NASCAR Cup Series, Goodyear 400, Kyle Larson plus 450 to take the checkered flag, Tyler Reddick plus 650, Denny Hamlin plus 700. I'm Chuck Sanders on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I should up sometimes, silly.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, I'll tell you a fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
Home is dangerous. Ain't too many can bang with us. No.
Hello, welcome back into the Blitz. Joe, I'm in Noopsies.
You did. It's one that every single person has been in your shoes has made.
Oh, damn it.
It is.
No.
It is. It's okay.
Either way.
It's not really that big of a deal.
No, it's not. I'm going to preface, I'm going to quote Fran Brown pretty much as he was talking about the NIL and the policies, where he kind of grew up. And with all of this money that gets thrown around, he said, quote, there's no way as a coach that I'm going to pay you a lot of money and then you're going to walk away from here with no money, as he makes his players save 40% of their NIL checks. So I think that's a great idea. And with all of the bad ideas that the NCAA has, it takes the coaches sometimes.
What did I say? Out of the 8 billion people, I guarantee you there's 2 people in the world that today is going to have this conversation about how pointless the NCAA is.
Yeah.
Ross Dillinger just reports that the commissioners of all of college football are meeting today in Dallas to discuss the future college football governance and format. Talks about a change to the 2025 format. Straight seating are expected, but anonymity is necessary, which means compromise is needed. You know that this is the words, the NCAA is pointless, is going to come out from somebody in this meeting.
Amen. The squad is coming together. I'm very excited for that, but I'm also very excited to hop into the phone lines because we got Johnny on the cell. Johnny, how you doing, man?
Good, guys. All right, so are you guys from the state of Alabama? Did you grow up here?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you really think in any way in Hades that Alabama would ever invite UAB for a spring training game?
Now,
it never happened.
Well, there's okay. So during the regular season,
NEVER, because we hate them and they hate us.
Well, there's a reason.
Because we've tried to kill them. We want to kill that program. There's no need for a UAB football program. The University of Alabama has a football program, and so we do not like UAB. And you're talking about a dangerous situation. There's no way you would let an Alabama team that competes for national championship schedule a team that would just be there to try to show how bad they are, how tough they are, and you could have injuries right and left. It'll never happen.
Well, no, it's again, it's funny that everybody says that for the university that the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa funds. That's the funny part about this. They fund them. University of Alabama in Birmingham.
We were very happy when UAB's program died.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if you knew this. We were very happy when that football program closed its books for a while.
Right, because you have somebody on the governing body that just wanted to do what Daddy wanted him to do.
So I don't like UAB. I never will like UAB. And I'm happy when they die. So to me to think that I just because they have University of Alabama in their name before the Birmingham, that I would want to support them, it'll never happen. I mean,
no, you're right. It's never going to happen. They're never going to be on the field together, but also financially, it doesn't make sense for that to ever happen, because all it would do is when you pay these universities to come and play for you, all you're going to be doing is literally moving over money from your own bank account to another one of your bank accounts. It doesn't benefit you.
And not only that, though, here, look, if you're in Auburn, if you're in Alabama, you're an SEC school, you have the best athletes in the world. Do you really want to invite a Troy, a Jacksonville State, kids that didn't make the cut to come do a scrimmage against your elite athlete? You don't think those kids are going to come in there with a chip on their shoulder and show how bad, tough they are, and see if they can't, have a little crack back here, a little dirty block there?
So
you can't afford for that.
So then why is it?
You cannot afford for that to happen.
Why is it that Florida, Florida State, and Miami will play other teams in the state of Florida?
Because they don't have the tradition that we have here.
Really? Miami, Florida, and Florida State do not have the tradition that Alabama has.
Go back 40 years and show who has the traditions Alabama had?
Dude, Alabama didn't have the traditions that Alabama had 40 years ago.
Oh, yes, they did.
No, they didn't. The whole national championship thing wasn't even brought up until the late 80s.
No,
yes, Alabama fans. That was a marketing ploy. That was a marketing ploy in the 80s that was done to add the national championships. Bear Bryant wasn't sitting there counting the national championships. This was something done in the 80s that was part of the reason that an AD was trying to market the university.
You're telling me Miami goes back to the Rose Bowl in 1920? No. You're telling me Florida goes back to any of those bowl games from the 30s and 40s and 50s? No. You're talking about the only time Florida became relevant was when Steve Spurrier got there in the 90s and the Miami teams of the 80s.
Now, the Florida State, because they were a women's college in the 60s.
The history of football in the South evolves around Alabama and Texas, Oklahoma, programs like that, not the other school. There's no other school in the SEC that has a football heritage that's as deep as Alabama. It's just not. Look it up. It's not. Auburn won one in 1954, waited 54 years later and won another one.
Auburn, if they wanted to claim it, they could claim like 11 more national championships if they wanted to. This is a retroactive claim. This was all done in the 80s. They didn't start hyping up a national championship.
You can put Bear versus Saban together. There's no claims on those, and that's still way more than any other school in the South.
I am not arguing that. I am arguing about the tradition that you're talking about when you say go back to the 70s.
I'm talking about none of those other. Tell me a Florida school that has. Florida State was great but they never won a lot of titles. You're talking about championships. Talk about the championships. Those Ohio States, the Michigans, the Notre Dames, the Bamas, the Texas, those USC. Those are your traditional blue bloods in football.
If other
just
schools,
like Kentucky and Kansas,
we do have to go to a break. I'm not done with it, but we do have to go to a break, and I apologize for having to cut it short. But other schools can claim just as many national championships.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
The Bass Pro Shops Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo will be at the Pond Bronze Center April 4th, 5th, and 6th in conjunction with the MLF Red Crest Championship on Lake Gunnersville. The Outdoor Expo will be open from 11 to 6:30 daily, and the first 200 kids 14 and under on Saturday will receive a free Abu Garcia rod and reel, courtesy of WHNT News 19. There will be hourly giveaways, tackle and boat deals, seminars, and a chance to meet the pros. And it's free of charge. The Bass Pro Shops Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo, April 4th through 6th at the BBC.
Hi, folks. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, inviting you to come test drive any one of our over 100 F-150s. From rock-solid, dependable work trucks to our state-of-the-art Platinum Series, we've got an F-150 for you. Test drive one today, and you'll understand why the F-150 is the best-selling truck in America, going on 48 years in a row. Just as successful offenses and defenses are built on teamwork, Woody Anderson Ford is powered by our people. Our sales and service teams are well-trained to save you time and money. And because we want your business again and again, no one will work harder to earn it. Our mobile service teams come to your home or business for oil changes, brake work, tire rotations, and more. And the great thing is you don't pay extra for it. We come to you with mobile service at no extra charge. Proud to be local, family-owned, and at your service for over 62 years. Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Shohei Ohtani walks the Braves off. The Braves now 0-7 on the year. I'm Barrett Sallee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
Shohei Ohtani, like a Hollywood script, walked the Braves off with a solo shot in the bottom of the ninth to give the Dodgers a 6-5 win over the Braves. They sweep the series over the Braves, and the Braves come home 0-7 to start the season. There was some good news for the Braves, though. Nick Allen, Ozzie Albies, and Matt Olson all had RBI doubles, 5 for 15 with runners in scoring position. So the Braves bats starting to come alive a little bit. But that doesn't change the fact that this has been one of the most unimpressive stretches in Braves history. Will it return to home help? Well, we'll see. Spencer Schwellenbach will take the mound for the Braves. Max Meyer going for the Marlins. Braves and Marlins coming up on Friday night on the Braves Radio Network. You can hear all the coverage right here starting Friday night.
From the University of Alabama, this is Crimson Tide Today. It's daily update on Bama sports and it's brought to you by The Good Feet Store. The Good Feet Store, for over 25 years, helping people get back to the life they love without their feet getting in the way. Start your journey at goodfeet.com. Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. On today's edition of Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, we'll be joined by Alabama football wide receiver Isaiah Horton.
It's Alabama, you know what I'm saying? It's standard college football. All the history that Alabama has, you know what I'm saying? I've always wanted to be a part of something like this. And ever since I've got here, it's like you said, a dream come true. Like it's everything, to the training, to the, you know what I'm saying, nutrition, equipment, everything is A1 and everybody's respectful with it. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying, like everything is just exactly what I thought it would be. Yeah, we're working real hard to get in those positions in the fall. You know what I'm saying? We're taking it very serious. We understand, like I've been saying, we understand what's ahead of us. We understand like we have the team to accomplish what we need to accomplish. All we got to do is just keep our head down, grind, and go 1-0 every day.
I'll have more in a moment.
This is Christian Miller for the Good Feet Store. I know from playing football at Alabama and in the NFL that if you have foot, knee, hip, or back pain, it can be a huge challenge. The Good Feet Store is designed to personally fit you with arch supports that alleviate and even eliminate your pain altogether. Try them before you buy them. They're in your free, no obligation, personalized fitting, and you can wear them home the same day. So if you're looking to improve your game, the Good Feet Store has you covered. Stop in for a free, personalized fitting today. Roll to victory at goodfeet.com. That's goodfeet.com. Roll Tide.
Join us this afternoon for Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, streaming live at 2 p.m. Central on all CTSN social media platforms at UA_CTSN. Crimson Tide Today is brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Crimson Tide Today is a production of the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm here with Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. With the temperatures going up and temperatures going down right now, now is a good time to get your heating and air system looked at. Thomas, when somebody calls, you guys answer.
That's right. The phones are staffed by us. They're manned 24/7. We're ready to come out and take care of you that day.
How do they give you guys a call?
You give us a call at 256-503-4490.
And you can find you guys on the World Wide Web at
talenthvac.com.
And now is a good time to do this because you guys are offering a special deal.
That's right. We're doing $49 tune-ups this spring. We're also doing free second opinions. We offer that year-round. Somebody comes out, they say you got a bad compressor, leaking refrigerant. Give us a call, see if we can save you some money.
Thomas from Talent Heating and Air. Thomas, one more time, that phone number.
256-503-4490.
AL certain number 21014.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 at ESPN The Zone and the Blitz. Did you say it was Johnny on the cell? Was that who it was?
Yeah.
Okay. I love him. No, I love having those conversations.
No, yeah, we don't have those much on the show.
No, and that's the thing is I didn't want to. First off, I wasn't cutting him off because I wanted to. It's because I had to.
Yeah, the music was literally.
And the other part is I love having those discussions because those are discussions that people learn things. I'm not talking about he or I. I'm talking about people that don't know some things. Will hear and be like, wait, is that true? Is that for real? No, that's just part of it.
It's going to have a lot of people looking at Wikipedia today.
Well, no, and look, there are unclaimed national championships. I mean, at the moment, like I was just kind of randomly looking around the internet, and I found an article about how Tennessee could actually claim that they have 12 national championships if they wanted to. There's 6 that they go unclaimed. There's literally a book out about the unclaimed national championships that Auburn could have. So I mean, it is what it is, and it is really just based on what you do and don't want to claim as far as the university is concerned.
I got you.
It totally is. There's a whole long story about every bit of that. But in all seriousness, though, and it was because, and I know Johnny was asking about our history in the state and all that sort of stuff. And I know that Johnny may not know this. I was actually around the UAB program when all of this was happening. When they were getting shut down, the reasons they were getting shut down, I was working with UAB football people. Like I know way more than probably anything that I could actually say on the air about everything that was going on behind the scenes in that shutting down of the UAB football program. But from a financial standpoint, it will never make sense for UAB and Alabama to play each other in the regular season because again, those games are all about making money for the program.
Yeah, it's like a marriage almost, where like if you get money and you give it to your wife, it's still the marriage's money.
Like there's never going to be a reason that UAB and Alabama should play each other because all it would be doing is moving money from one part of the account to the other part of the account. There is no more money coming into it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Alabama is more likely to play a Troy than what they would be playing UAB because Troy is not the same school system. UAH, they play an exhibition game against Alabama. They didn't play a regular season game. They played an exhibition game. That's different. That again, same university. It's those finances are going to be going to one pot.
Yeah.
They're not going to, and that's what it is Troy, the money from Alabama would be going to Troy. It would, South Alabama is South Alabama. It's not University of Alabama Mobile. There's no reason for Auburn to play AUM in a regular season game in anything, to be honest with you, because Auburn Montgomery is part of their same school system.
Exactly.
So that's the reason why I was saying that's why it's never going to happen. I used UAB as an example because of the children's hospital that's there and the fact that it's a local game that would get a ton of people involved. And honestly, you probably wouldn't even have to, there is no money that would have to be discussed in this because it's all going towards charity.
Yeah, Joe, I want to know, does this work for a UAB student or a UAH student where they can get that same type of perk that a UA student gets, an Alabama
No,
student?
they can't claim the national championship.
No.
Sorry.
To where they,
that's what you were talking about.
Where they can actually go to the games for cheaper because they are students of the University of Alabama.
No, because I think it is actually for, if I remember correctly, and again, I could be off on this. I'm not saying this is.
It could be.
I think you actually, that is for University of Alabama Tuscaloosa students only.
Gotcha. All right. Well, since we're
I
talking,
think it has to be for students on that campus.
Understandable. That makes plenty of sense. Since we're claiming all of these championships and these national games and all of this stuff that goes all the way back into history, I thought this would be a perfect time to talk about how the NFL owners voted to approve a proposal that would make statistics from the All-America Football Conference an official part of NFL history. And this goes back to the 1946 to 1949 seasons, as well as, the Cleveland Browns, 8 championships, Joe. That means I can claim 8 championships. The Browns, they're up there with teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers, the New England Patriots, and some of the best of the best. So just wanted to get that out there off my chest. Don't have to talk about it anymore because I know it's probably more embarrassing than it is prideful.
Yeah, you're actually kind of hurting your argument right here.
And we'll hop to the phone lines on that because we've got Brandon on with us. Brandon, how are you doing today, brother?
Well, listen to y'all talk about, a spring game, man. I think I would take it in a little different direction if it were me. I would want to pull some people into it. So Mississippi State and Alabama do not play this year. They're not on the schedule.
Okay.
They're an hour and 10 minutes from each other?
Yeah, if that.
I realize you could. Yeah, I realize you could play them. And if you had to go there next year, it's a very short drive for everybody involved.
And I think that there's a place to try to schedule the spring games. I think that obviously there are benefits to playing a team, but I don't know about playing one in conference.
Yeah.
Like the NFL doesn't have a reality as far as wanting to play somebody in conference. Like they have to play somebody in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in college football, I think that, again, I'm a person that doesn't believe that what I call POS games should be on a college football schedule at all. I believe that there should be a ranking system as far as allowing a team from a Power 5 or Power 4 or even a group of 5 that qualify, meaning that they could only schedule games within a certain range of what their ranking is or something like that, because you then start to make the games on Saturday better. Listen, that's the way that it looks a lot of times is we'll be sitting here talking about a Saturday and it's, we got 2 good games this weekend and there's 115 games happening. And you're like, there's 2 good ones.
And it stinks because we're excited for the college football season until week 3 when we're 3 weeks into the POS game.
Well, no, and that's the reason why I say this, as in I believe that the spring games I believe these should be moved to the fall. I don't even think there should be a spring game.
Preseason, baby.
I think that it should be moved to the fall. You have a single game. You pick an opponent like a Troy, a UAB. You talk about even a Middle Tennessee State, an Alabama A&M, like one of those Alabama states. You play those. The money goes towards their program to absolutely help their program. And then what happens is then you play your regular season schedule, and that's how it should be. I think that that's the way it is, again, me personally. But obviously we're in a year of let's learn to try to think differently when we talk about college football.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you remember, and I don't know if they do it as much anymore, the jamborees you used to have in high school where you'd have like 4 teams show up.
Oh, yeah, because the jamboree games that we used to play, and knew of the one I remember was we played J.B. Pennington in a jamboree game.
Well, we would have like 4 teams show up.
Yeah.
And you would play a quarter or half. I'd grab Georgia Tech. I'd grab Memphis. I'd grab some people in a short, 2.5 hour, no more than 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
And maybe it's at Alabama this year, and then you do something at Memphis the next year, Tech the next year. That way your people can go, and you're not driving 4, 5, 6 hours going across the country, something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like you would have a lot of people show up to that.
No doubt. It would be a whole little event. You could even have a little fanfare. Everybody from those teams can also, they can bond in a way. I mean, it's just that would be something that would kind of bring us back to a type of college, type of sport, instead of it moving towards more of the NFL style of play.
I would enjoy that, just as long as you're never going to be able to prevent the fight.
No,
it's going to happen no matter what.
Look, here's the thing. The fights are going to happen. Like that's the part of it. This is what you don't understand. Like I guarantee you right now, and I know that we have a lot of Havoc players listening. I guarantee you, if we were to ask them next Tuesday night, hey, how many fights happened during practice? I promise you they're going to talk about how it happens. It's part of the game. You can't take the fight out of it when you have a bunch of testosterone alpha males all going up against each other, and your job is to hit each other. It's going to cause arguments. It's going to cause fights. It is going to cause fists flying. It does. It's part of the sport. We can't act like it's not. It's just like the same way as a guy hitting a bomb off of a pitcher and then the pitcher being pissed off and throwing a fastball at the back of the next batter. It's part of the game. It happens.
Well, to me, if you're going to have these games like this, the NCAA needs to be able to say, look, there's not going to be any discipline for us for anything that's not controlled or scheduled through us. So if you do this, it's on you.
Yeah, and that's the way that it has been with college basketball. This hasn't been like this whole sanction thing. Like you had to watch it on a private stream through the university and things like that. Like I remember with Kentucky, they'll be going up and they would go to Panama or something. They would play in this exhibition game out of the country, but they would be sitting there playing like the Panama national team or something. They're getting an exhibition game in, they're getting work in, and they're playing these games before they actually matter. And the NCAA is like, all right, well, this isn't our deal. Okay, so be it. What is the problem with it? That's where I don't get this. There's no reason not to want to do something like this that can bring more attention to your sport in a better way.
I completely agree with you. I think we need some kind of spring spectacle or something, or we need some kind of preseason games or fall training camp games or something to some extent.
Yeah, but look, and I'm not sitting here and saying that, these schools that are the smaller tier schools, they don't need to get paid, because they absolutely do, because their funding for an entire year is dependent on this type of stuff. What I'm saying is that if you're making the money that you're making in college football and the money that you normally do spend on paying for these other teams to come, if you're already now having to schedule your Virginias or your Penn States or your Iowas or those type of schools, that honestly shouldn't be something where you have to pay the university to do, unless you're paying for their fees to actually stay at the hotels. You're like, hey, we'll cover your costs just to get here. If it's something like that. And then the money that you would normally pay to the schools for the exhibition games or the POS games, you give it to them for an exhibition. And they're making $500,000 to come down to have a couple of joint practices to go up against it. And you're darn right they're going to play hard. Why wouldn't you want to play hard? That's the thing. Right now, the UAH game is going viral for them beating the number 15 team in the country the other day. And John, I appreciate you tagging me on that, because I had no clue that it was a thing.
Got you.
And I'm seeing 20 and 30 and 40,000 people are watching these videos. And UAH was 500, not even 500. And they were playing up against the number 15 team in the country that had only 5 losses in the regular season. Those are the times that your teams are going to play harder. And quite frankly, if you're the good team, that's what you want, is for them to play harder.
Agreed. And if you charge $20 a ticket at 100,000 seats at Alabama, that's $2 million.
Yes.
I mean, that's more than enough money to give everybody some money and cover costs.
Absolutely. You give half of it to the other program, you give half of it to charity. Boom, there you go. You just got a massive deal. And let's not act like, giving the charity, what's that do? How's that benefit them? Dude, come on. It's April right now. You can't tell me that we're not all thinking about our taxes. Those are tax write-offs. Universities can write those donations off. That's part of the reason they do all that stuff.
Well, and that brings me into, you were talking yesterday, the question about what would you sing in a cab to get a free ride?
Yes.
I couldn't do it, but I would so want to do System of a Down, BYOB.
God.
That way I could say, why do they always send the poor?
That's very aggressive.
I want to see Brandon
That
do
is
that now.
very, very okay. Good. So this game that you were talking about, potentially all of us from the zone and going over to with you, then we're gonna have to do it where you're gonna have to sing that song at some point in time. That's, I guess.
Well, I'll probably have to do it with a paper bag over my head, because at that point, There's no telling how many games the Braves will have lost.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
I guess we'll be the 97.7 SAC committee.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got some stickers we can slap on those bags.
Yeah, there we go. Just walk around with that on your face, and I promise you, if you wear it during the game, there's going to be a camera that finds you.
Hey, I remember the Saints doing it when I was a kid in the late 80s and 90s.
Shocked that they didn't sell those things themselves.
Oh, the Lions also had to do that. The Browns did it just
walk
a few
into a
years.
restaurant for dinner last night. A friend of mine stands up and yells across the restaurant, "My fight's not with you, Holiday."
Absolutely.
I said, I beg to differ. I said, "I beg to differ, sir." I said, "We started a game we never got to finish, play for blood." And the guy next to me, which the quote he was saying is totally out of scene. But he looks at us and he says, "We don't want no trouble in here, not in any language." I looked at that guy and I said, "You got it." It was funny that we said that and everybody in the restaurant's looking at us. Nobody knows what's going on.
They're probably thinking that they're trying to figure out if they're going to need to duck under a table is probably what they were thinking, because they probably didn't understand that you were quoting Tombstone.
And I looked at him. I said, "Bino Valentine." And he said, "Now I really hate him." And my wife said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "You're supposed to quote Doc Holliday all day today, every chance you get."
You know what my wife would have done? She would have looked over at me and she goes, "Do you know him?" No, I don't. But we know each other now. That's exactly how it would have been. I promise you. All right, we gotta go. We gotta talk a little bit of football, more football, as a matter of fact, when we come back here, man. So we appreciate it, bro.
Roll Tide. Law don't go around here.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
By the way, Georgia Tech has played Kennesaw State as well as Georgia State over the course of the last 3 years. Just saying.
Just throwing that out there. We got to hit a break. When we come back, though, special guest. It is that Thursday edition of the show, meaning every once in a while, we'll snag a high school coach from around the area, get him on and talk a little bit of the offseason as well as the spring football and what Coach Bob Gotze has got on the bulletin. That's what we're getting into when we come back here on the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement. It's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
The nation unites. Let's rock it.
Countdown to the 2025 Trash Panda season is on. Tickets are available for the full 2025 home schedule, including opening night on Friday, April 4th. But it doesn't end there. The Trash Panda season opens with 9 home games in 10 days, featuring theme nights, giveaways, fireworks, and more. This opening homestand has it all. For more information, check us out online at trashpandasbaseball.com.
Tick, tick, boom. Bringing the noise. Baby, we bringing out toys. Separate men from the boys. Chopper be singing, should be on the board. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we gon' die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who.
Continuing on the Blitz, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. You have the Tom Abraham show going to be at the Hickory store later on today. Then don't forget, you can also be paying attention to Big Zone deals. There's a reason why Tom's going to be out there. Also coming up tonight on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I know that you've been paying attention to every single second of it, and you cannot wait for tip-off of the NIT championship game that is going to be taking place between Chattanooga and UC Irvine. That is going to tip off tonight at 6 o'clock, and you'll be able to watch it and listen to it here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone beginning at 5:45.
Yes. And, something that you can also look forward to throughout the years that you're going to be able to listen to on our station is a little bit of Madison Academy Mustangs football, Joe. And, of course, they had a wonderful season last year, 7-5. It wasn't the best thing we've seen out of Bob Gotze's football teams, especially at Madison Academy. And that's kind of hard to do because almost every single team that he coaches does really well. But
it's his thing.
Yeah, it's kind of his thing. He joins us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline to talk a little bit about his team as they're getting ready for that 2025 season. So, Coach, we appreciate you hopping on, taking some time to talk a little bit of ball with us here on 97.7. How you doing?
I'm good, guys. Appreciate y'all having me. It's fun to talk a little ball for a change.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I know it's a little bit unorthodox to reach out to you during the spring's part of the season.
Coach probably like, wait, what month is it?
I know. Is it fall? Is it already fall?
What did I miss?
I hope it was. I wish it was. I'm going to be honest with you. But regardless, there is still football going on. I remember like it was yesterday. I was doing my own spring training with the team. Way better than the winter, running the steps and all that of the stadium. But talk a little bit about your football team, how you guys are getting prepped for all the fun to come in the spring, as well as getting ready for that fall.
Well, we obviously moved out of our winter phase to where we are in the weight room a lot. Speed and agility type stuff. We've had all that going on through January, February, and into March, and then we kind of move into what we call the spring phase as we come back off spring break and we start to be able to get outside. Of course, with the rules nowadays, you either do the old school spring training 10 days and all of that type stuff, which a lot of people still do, or you choose not to in order to start a week earlier in the fall, so you actually get to start last week of July as opposed to the first week of August. So that's what we do. That's what's worked well for us here over the last several years, really since COVID. We have so many guys in spring sports and things of that nature. It becomes, really difficult to get a good spring practice in. So, we meet during the day a lot, through the week. I say not a lot, but through the week we have some meetings with our guys, and then we take advantage of what they call the player development, which is 2 hours a week after school. So we'll be on the field for an hour today, working, mainly individual, with the guys that aren't in spring sports. And it's a fun time of year to where you really get to work with, younger guys. You got some guys moving up to varsity for the first time, and younger guys that second, third year with the program that you really get to spend some quality time with them, and hopefully develop them and preparing them as move into the summer phase starting in June.
No doubt
So
about that.
that's kind of where we are right now.
Yeah, and Coach, I mean, you've been in the game for quite some time now. Of course, developing the players is definitely a high point for it, but you've also done so much more in the high school football scene. I mean, talk about what you're looking for as you move forward throughout your career coaching these teams. What are you looking for out of the rest of what you got?
With what we got coming back, we're really excited. As you mentioned last year, we were 7-5, and in terms of the records and the things that we're accustomed to around here, maybe it wasn't there, but from where we started with an extremely young team to where we finished, we covered a lot of ground. So even though this team may even be younger from top to bottom than what we had last year, we have a ton of guys that played a lot of football last year. So we'll be a little more experienced as opposed to last year at this time when we really started completely over from a team that went to the finals.
Yeah.
We had like 2 starters back on both sides of the ball, and we're filling in with young guys and that type thing. So even though we've gone from a freshman sophomore team really to a sophomore junior team, we've got a lot of youth still on our team. But they have been in games. They have been in those battles and those wars and succeeded as we kind of got hot late and won 4 out of our last 5 and got into the second round and that type thing. So we're excited about where we are. We're more excited about where we're heading. We've got a good group of guys that are working really hard, and we've made a lot of progress in the weight room and things of that nature over the course of this off season, and now as we begin our field work, it was fun these couple of days we've been out there to, when I say starting from scratch last year, we started from scratch. So to get out there these couple of days, and we've got a lot of guys that understand where to go and what to do, and makes things a lot easier. But I enjoy this time of year personally. This is where you really get to work with guys. Practice is my favorite part of the job, and being on the field with them and coaching and teaching and watching them grow, just at little things. And our motto has been is all these little things that we're working on right now, the fundamental things that we're working on. Those will be all of those things will be the difference in the bigger games. The bigger the game are, the more important those little things become. And so we're trying our best to get really good at those things right now.
Well, and Coach, I know that you were talking about the growth of the players and all that, which is part of the reason you become a coach, is to watch them grow. And you mentioned the spring sports and everything. I mean, you're a 4A high school, and again, I went to a 3A. So I mean, we at the time you guys were 3A too. And again, you're having guys that play football, basketball, baseball. There's some that are doing 4 and 5 different things.
Don't forget soccer. All right?
I know.
Trust me.
No, they have amazing soccer team. But I was just sitting here thinking, like, not only growing with you, but how cool is it to watch it whenever you're watching the players that are playing basketball or playing baseball and see them growing there as well, not just on the field with you.
Well, like you said, you get, competition is competition.
Yeah.
And, whether you're shooting a free throw or, you're at the plate with 2 men on and you got to have a hit, soccer, we got several guys in soccer that, left out this morning, headed down to, toward the beach and to, playing a big tournament down there that, this weekend. Competition is competition. And that, the good thing about that is, as you mentioned, in like the 4A, setting, I see those guys every day in the halls.
Mm-hmm.
They still work out with us and things of that nature, before school, that type thing. And then they go to soccer and all that afterwards. And we encourage them to play other things because, once again, competition is competition. And when you learn to compete, and especially compete in pressure type situation, it carries over from one sport, to the next. And, I encourage our guys to, set that standard on the other teams, of playing at a high level and being demanding, and you're still coaching those guys in terms of leadership and motivation and things of that nature, even when they're involved with another sport. Of course, you're not infringing on anything the other coaches are doing, but at the same time, you're coaching the individual. It may not be football stuff, but it's people stuff. It's life stuff, and that's a fun part of it as well. And to watch them grow once again. The maturity of our team, we're just so far ahead right now, and you just hope and that those things are going to pay off for you. Come this fall, you're watching it pay off. This spring on their teams as they're doing extremely well.
Well, Coach Bob Gossi joins us right now, Madison Academy head coach, and I know that you had AJ Rice that signed with Mississippi State, but he's not the only one playing college football. I mean, you have guys that go all over the country and play, but you also have a former kicker that literally was at a program where the school gets shut down. And I mean, trust me, I look, Coach, throughout my time here with UAH, and I've been doing this, there's a lot of players that I've been seeing, even baseball-wise, where I look down at the roster and it says previous school, Birmingham Southern. So, they're going everywhere, but he goes from D3 to kicking in the SEC for Auburn. How does that help you with your message to your players in the locker room of look, don't be upset because you're getting a scholarship offer from only getting it from X school. Look at what can happen.
Well, I think he's just a great example of the nature of the business now. That's the way the game is played. It's about, getting an opportunity somewhere. And if you get on the field somewhere, you get an opportunity, you get film, just film, kicking in practice. And you're able to show that to other people, that opens doors for you. So, coming out of high school right now is extremely difficult for high school kids to get looks, get offers. Extremely difficult because of the transfer portal and that type of thing. They want older guys taking older guys. It's not good for high school kids, but that's the way it is. It's understandable. You're going to take a 17-year-old, 18-year-old unproven guy versus a 19, 20-year-old guy that's been in a program that's practiced at least against competition, not college competition. So it's important to get them in somewhere. We've been fortunate to be able to get our guys in somewhere, and then they have done an excellent job of developing themselves, just like Ian, preparing himself. He handled some business. He got enough film while he was at Birmingham Southern to give him an opportunity at Auburn, and then when he got the opportunity at Auburn, he took advantage of it. Of course, he's got to keep doing that, in order to keep that job. But what a great story, and and for him and for us, and obviously wish him nothing but the best.
No doubt about that. And you brought up, of course, the guys moving forward on to college. It's a great thing for you, and as well as just the message for your team. But at the same time, it hurts because you lose guys like Joshua Williams, who had 16 touchdowns last season. I mean, he was a big part of this team. But then you got guys like Jonathan Davis, who did he have 10 interceptions last year? I mean, it was one of the bigger stats in the state. But talk about some of the younger talent that is coming up. Some of these playmakers that are going to have to take that step into that leadership position.
Well, we got, like I said, we'll have a smaller senior class, but we've got some guys that have played there. Barrett Canada kind of returns as a linebacker. He and Jace Gaines both played, a ton of snaps for us alongside AJ last year. So those are two guys that really have to step into leadership roles defensively. That should play well. Danny McCauley's another guy that's played a lot of football for us. That'll be a senior. And he has played a lot of football on the defensive side of the ball and played well for us. So he's a guy that's going to have to be a leader, and he may have to get a few carries. He had a few last year, and he may have to pull some double duty there for us defensively. Cam Wilson is a guy that returns for us on the defensive line. Jake Allman returns on the defensive line. We got several nose men, A.J. Seaton, Henry Bragg, some guys like that got a bunch of snaps last year as well. We'll return on that on the defensive line as well. The secondary is where we'll have to rebuild a little bit there. We lost Khalil Green, who signed with Carson Newman, who was an outstanding All-State player and just did an outstanding job there. But we feel good about that. Offensively, Charleston Owens was a freshman last year that ended up starting and going 4-1 as a starter for us, winning a playoff game, and he returns at quarterback. Zion Williams returns at receiver. We return all of our offensive line, where we had one returner last year. We'll return actually 6 guys that played at some point last season, but 4 starters all season. So we're excited about that. And the big thing for us is just to continue to grow, continue to work, continue to mature, because it is still a young team, and so you have to deal with the growth there sometimes. But been really excited and really pleased with how these guys have shown up and worked so far. But we're really just scratching the surface and getting started as we work through the spring, and then come June 1, hit the ground running this summer.
That's what I love to hear. A head coach for the Madison Academy Mustangs, Bob Gotze. Appreciate your time, Coach. And on top of that, just super pumped to be able to have the Madison Academy
Absolutely,
Mustangs on 97.7 ESPN The Zone yet again this year.
Well, we're excited about that. It's been a great relationship, obviously, for a long time, and Steve and those guys do a good job. Enjoyed it, with them, and enjoy being on in the mornings and that type thing. And like I said, this was a pleasant surprise to hear from you guys this spring, and get to talk a little ball.
No doubt about that. We'll
Absolutely,
see a little bit later on in the summertime for the media days. But appreciate you, and have a wonderful rest of your week, sir.
Same to you guys. Appreciate you very much.
Thanks, Coach.
Great stuff, as always. Head coach Bob Gotze of the Madison Academy Mustangs. Joe, I wish it was the fall. It's totally fine, though. I will be paying these teams a visit this year, though. Getting some pictures for the social media. It's going to be popping off.
No, we will. It's if we're not available, I need you with us though.
Oh, well, no, because I'm not taking pictures during the games. That's why I got to get out during the practices to get these pictures.
See, we're gonna need somebody else to go take
media.
pictures during the games. We need you.
Yes, this is true. This is true. Are you sure maybe I could clone myself? Do we have the technology to maybe do you have any friends in the CIA?
I mean, I have some friends that do work on the Arsenal, and they're very deep in the Arsenal.
Ooh, I don't know.
I once had a guy I knew, no joke, where I would not see him for probably a few months.
Yeah.
Then he'd just roll back up one day, and he'll just be like, "What's up?" We're like, so where have you been? Can't say. All right, good enough.
Yep. No names given.
Understandable.
But if anybody knows of a clone hibernation chamber type of thing, just hit us up 256-576-9777. Joe, you've started your first anime. Oh my gosh, and I'm so happy, my little boy.
Technically, I started my first and my second, because the first one I couldn't watch. Yeah.
What?
So okay.
No.
I'm trying to debate on how to say this, but I mean, it's not like I haven't mentioned it before. All right, so I tried watching this thing as I was driving home yesterday. The problem with some shows, and you realize this if you've watched as many shows as I've talked about sometimes.
Please tell me it was the subtitles, Joe. You had you couldn't understand the Japanese.
Well, some movies you can't watch in the daytime. Like the other day, it was when it was extremely cloudy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit darker, so it's easier to see certain movies.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the movie with Sandra Bullock where she's in space?
Gravity.
You can't watch Gravity at noon on a Saturday afternoon with the windows open.
The glare.
It's just not going to happen.
Too much glare.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I got you.
I was trying to I randomly put on Avengers Endgame. And I was
That's not anime.
No, it's not anime, but I'm getting to the point here. I did it when it was extremely cloudy and I could watch the movie. It was fine. But once they get to the final battle, you can't see anything unless it's nighttime. So I had to wait. The thing with anime, and even the thing with me watching Japanese baseball in the mornings, like I do with my Tigers team that I follow, is you actually have to watch it. Like with the Braves game, I could just kind of have it on and I'm listening to the guys on the call and Ben Ingram and all that. And I'm listening to it, even if it's on the radio.
Yeah, you can work while you're watching the baseball.
But with a movie with closed captioning or with like Hanshin Tigers, when I watch them, like I did this morning, I actually have to be watching it because I can't understand what they're saying in Japanese.
Believe it or not, I watch every second of an anime. It doesn't matter if it's
because you have to, because a lot of them are in Japanese. Two things though. One, you guys didn't tell me that Crunchyroll was a pay website.
Oops, Joe. I'm
thought
sorry.
It was like Nickelodeon or something where it's free because you've just got everything. Like, all right, that's what I thought.
Look, I should have threw out the suggestions of the accounts that you probably already have. There's Netflix, there's Amazon, there's Max. I mean, all of those have anime on them as well.
But as I'm dipping my toe into the waters here, I am wanting to watch something that interests me, which is baseball.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Japan, big on baseball.
They have plenty of baseball.
So the first one I started watching was called Major Second.
Ooh.
And tremendous. Like the first 5 minutes was great.
Nice.
Minus the fact that it's all subtitles.
Dang it. It's not dubbed?
No, they don't have a dubbed version. When you go and you click on it, it says languages 1.
Damn.
Okay. And so I was like, well, crap. So I didn't realize that. And I didn't notice it the first time that I started trying to watch this. And next thing you know, I'm driving down the road and I'm in this wonderful spot that we've mentioned multiple times in Bob Wade Lane. And I'm at a red light and I'm looking at it. I'm going, this show, I'm reading it right now, and it is so incredibly good. It's about like this kid whose dad played in the majors.
Yes.
It actually majors, not like majors, but like majors, like in America.
Whoa. Who did he play for?
No, it was a fictional team. And so he played there. And so this kid who always wanted to be this amazing baseball player sucks. Okay. And so, but that's as far as I got. I don't know what happens because it's all subtitles.
He's just always going to suck now, Joe.
Yes, he's always going to suck, or I'm going to have to watch it at home. So then I turn it over to another one, and I'm going to pull this one up because I have no clue at how to say this right.
Is it the Beer Girl anime?
No, this is not the Beer Girl. This is not Cinderella 9 or whatever you guys try to tell me about the baseball show that way. This one is called Mix, M-I-X.
Never heard of it.
Okay, and it is basically about two brothers who are on high school, on a high school baseball team, and their high school has not been to the Koshien in about 40 years.
Well, at least they went.
Yeah, they went and they won, but it was like 1986 and they hadn't won since. And so the whole story is about these two brothers who basically are the battery of the team, or they're trying to be the battery of the team. One of them is the starting catcher. The other one wants to be the starting pitcher, but the father of the current starting pitcher is best friends with the head coach, and he also funds all the uniforms and all of the equipment that this school uses for high school baseball, and so his son gets to be the starting pitcher. And so they're awful.
Daddy ball.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is.
Hate it.
So I'm 2 episodes into that one, and honestly, it has me. One, if I had never known what the Koshien was, I would not be interested in this. Because they're like the spring Koshien, the summer Koshien. I don't know. What the heck is that? No, that's the reason right now that the Tigers are having to play in the Osaka Dome is because the Koshien is happening right now at Hanshin Field.
It really is perfect for you to watch a baseball show to start your anime journey. But let's take it to a break.
Koshien Field.
Yes, let's take it to a break. When we get back, get into the phone lines. Everybody can have their own anime conversation.
I cannot believe that anime has become a topic, and sadly, so many of our listeners actually pay attention and actually watch this.
Oh, dude. I you know what? I'll save it to the next.
Yeah, save it when we come back.
This is the Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Now is the time to sign up for the Eagle Installation WZZN Charity Golf Tournament to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year's event is the morning of April 21st at Cherokee Ridge, and each member of the winning team not only gets the championship belt, but a full year membership to Cherokee Ridge. Breakfast and lunch are provided, plus tremendous prizes and a chance to win $100,000. Cost is $800 a team or $200 per individual, and corporate sponsorships are available. Send an email to 977WZZNevents@gmail.com to reserve your spot today.
Rocket City, for air that's cool and clean, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get HVAC smart with Professor Green and the expert team at sensagreen.com. Now offering up to $1,500 off any new Bryant system. Whatever it takes, Sensa Green has Huntsville covered. Remember, folks, with innovative, sensible green solutions, contact Sensa Green Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
Now is the time to sign up for the Eagle Installation WZZN Charity Golf Tournament to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This year's event is the morning of April 21st at Cherokee Ridge, and each member of the winning team not only gets the championship belt, but a full year membership to Cherokee Ridge. Breakfast and lunch are provided, plus tremendous prizes and a chance to win $100,000. Cost is $800 a team or $200 per individual, and corporate sponsorships are available. Send an email to 977WZZNevents@gmail.com to reserve your spot today.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beams likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Hey there, Bob Baumhauer again. March Madness is here, and it's time to hoop it up at Baumhauer's Victory Grill with our Slam Dunk specials. It's nothing but net with a pound of our world-famous wings. Tip it off with our party-ready trays, including traditional wings, buttermilk fried chicken tenders, and hot lips, to name a few. Want a cold beer with those wings? How about $7.99 pitchers of Yingling served all day? 7 days a week. Break out those brackets and bring the gang to the best watch party place in town. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, the true king of wings.
We are your home for March Madness.
Dr. shot fake, step aside, 3 in the air again. Oh my goodness gracious. He knocked another one down. Tyrese Proctor cannot miss.
We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It makes me happy. Like, I'm just going down this list that shows that Joe's right next to me, and he's just like, oh, yeah, I saw that one. No, yeah, this one, no, yeah, I saw that one as well. He's saying the names and everything. I'm just like, dude, finally.
Look, I will. There's about 3 or 4 of those titles that we looked at just a second ago that I really, really actually would have watched but I have to sit down and actually watch them. I can't do the casual watching like I do whenever I drive.
Yeah, and I know you've gotten through so many movies. You've gotten through series on your way up to Nashville and now on your way here because it takes.
I would have got through Reacher like 3 weeks ago if I could have. I just now finished that last night.
You're gonna be flying through anime because every episode 24 episodes.
Oh yeah, it's only like 20 minutes each episode and things like that. No, look, the story is cool, and I think that I am going to obviously focus on the baseball side because that is very realistic in the Japanese community.
Not just the opening.
And so here's the also part that I'm going to be very honest about, and I hate myself for even saying this because we know the baseball game that I've been playing for it came out like November, didn't it? Was it like September, November?
Yeah, so around that time.
And I just finished playing 154 games with the Hanshin Tigers.
Congratulations.
MLB The Show just came out like last week. I bought it. It doesn't look anywhere close to as good as what the Japanese game does.
It's just not the same.
And I played probably, and I do casually still play it. Like I started a season with the Cubs, like I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But then I swapped over and I was like, you know what? Let me just play some exhibition games as some Pacific League teams, because I did Central League. So I was like, I could start a Pacific League season. I put it on, and the very first thing I'd start looking at, I was sitting there staring at it, and I went, this game looks amazing. And I think it's just because I've been playing MLB The Show for like the last week.
Oh, it's
and
good for
it's
you.
really sad because you can ask anybody that knows me. I am doing nothing but playing MLB The Show all summer long, and I am now so confused on this. And this is where I'm nervous about the anime, is because I may actually start watching all these anime baseball games or baseball shows, and it's going to throw me off on this.
Well, Joe, I am considered the Gorlock, and I've pinned that name. It is for a man that knows quite a bit about anime. Not Gorlock the Destroyer. We don't talk about her on this show. Regardless, we got Josh on the phone lines. Josh, how you doing, man?
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing today?
Enjoying everything that's happening right now, currently.
Hating my life for the fact that I'm actually watching some anime right now.
All right, I've got 3 things for y'all. All right, John, I appreciate you showing me some love yesterday. You told me to stay on with the bit about One Piece, even though he kept calling him Monkey D. Luffy instead of Luffy.
That was the funny part about it.
Oh, God, I was cracking up, man. I was like, oh, my God, do your research, man. Come on.
He just got told about the show. Like, what is this? Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll cut him a break then. Joe, that first show you were talking about, I have seen that first episode.
Yeah.
All I have watched is that first episode. So but it does seem like it's good, but I'm with you. I hate the fact that it's not dubbed. And I do want to say, I think you get like some kind of temporary free trial with Crunchyroll before they start charging.
Oh no, I took advantage of it. I'm on the 7-day free trial right now, and that's what it was. And so that's how I learned after that I made the mistake with the major second, because I'm watching this and I'm reading the subtitles at a red light. I'm going, this show looks really, really good, but I can't read it the entire time while I'm driving. Like I can't.
Right.
So that's how I discovered how to figure out which ones have subtitles, which one has actually dubs and all that stuff. So now, and when John was going over that list a second ago, I'm looking at it. I was like, nope, looked at that one. That one's not dubbed. Looked over that one. That one's not dubbed. Like there were 3 or 4 options that I was going to go to before I found this one. And I eventually just said, screw it. I'm just going to watch it because they're wanting me to watch one. I'm just going to watch this one because I know it's in English.
Look, and I know everybody loves the English. It's a lot easier to watch that way, but at the same time, you will be getting better voice acting from the Japanese.
Well, and it has nothing to do with the voice acting.
That's true. Yeah, for sure. And hey, I do got to ask, are you guys in the same building that's across from that Shipley's Donuts being built?
Yes. Somewhat.
Because I called the morning show this morning, right? And I felt like one of you guys answered. I swear it was one of you guys. And I said, man, my boys are going to know I cheated on them. And I've never called that show.
Oh, yeah.
Donut place.
It's, you know, that dirt pile right next to the Burger King? Yeah. That's where it's coming. That's where it's going. Josh, appreciate you as always, man.
Yeah. Hey, guys, have a good one, fellas.
Oh, we will.
Oh, you too, bro.
I'll be watching some anime later tonight after all of the work that we got to finish because, of course, there is more than just the shows. But look forward to it because we have even more shows this week. As on Saturday, we're going to have a special edition of The Blitz.
Half and half.
Yeah, it's going to be live from...
it's going to be Talking Blitz.
Yeah, actually, that is exactly what it's going to be.
Talking the Blitz.
Either way, for me and Joe, we're out of here. We've been The Blitz. Look forward to Tom Abraham at noon.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
The Bass Pro Shop's Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo will be at the Bond Bronze Center April 4th, 5th, and 6th in conjunction with the MLF Red Crest Championship on Lake Gunnersville. The Outdoor Expo will be open from 11 to 6:30 daily, and the first 200 kids 14 and under on Saturday will receive a free Abu Garcia rod and reel, courtesy of WHNT News 19. There will be hourly giveaways, tackle and boat deals, seminars, and a chance to meet the pros. And it's free of charge. The Bass Pro Shop's Red Crest Championship Outdoor Expo, April 4th through 6th at the BBC.
The Drive.
You know, both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making down in, down out is, you know, probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them, because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making,